Prime Minister Mark Carney has wrapped up his visit to Beijing. He signed what he called a landmark trade agreement that allows Chinese electric vehicles into the market.
Canada has agreed to allow up to 49,000 Chinese electric vehicles into the Canadian market.
It comes in exchange for a reduction on some tariffs and has angered Ontario Premier Doug Ford in the process. Let's bring in Carleton University professor Elliott Tepper to discuss this deal. Good morning to you.
Oh, good morning,
Good morning
Rosie.
to you. There's so many things to consider here, but overall, all things considered, is this a good deal for Canada?
It was almost an inevitable deal for Canada, and we should keep in mind that it possibly would have happened without the current pressure, as we put it, from the Trump administration. Canada has long wanted a free trade agreement of major deal with China, including Mark Carney in his private capacity. So this is a continuation of traditional liberal foreign policy. The fact that it is happening now is, in fact, important. The deal itself is being called a strategic partnership. I don't think it's actually strategic nor a partnership. It's more tactical. And if there's ever a partnership, we're likely to be the junior partner. So I think it's a good deal all in all, because we do have to deal with the second largest economy in the world. India is also coming up on tap in that same way. But we do have to be, as our government has said, clear-eyed when you're dealing with the Communist Party of China.
Okay, so this deal has apparently, in a way, pitted the prairies against Ontario, if you will. So the Premier of Saskatchewan is happy because canola, the tariffs have gone down from China. From 100%, they will go down to about 15%. So canola farmers are happy. But in Ontario, the auto industry, now it looks like we're letting in about 47,000 EVs from China. That may affect Ontario's auto industry. So how will the Prime Minister handle these two entities?
Probably fairly skillfully, and by throwing money at it. There's undoubtedly going to be, I shouldn't say undoubtedly, very likely there will be a special arrangement made by the federal government with the automobile industry in order to help cushion this. This 49,000 EVs that are being let in, China is building this, interestingly, as a way to meet our climate goals, because otherwise we won't make it. The possibility exists that the cap, and they've emphasized cap, and it's only 3 years, it's a trial period, et cetera. It's entirely possible that Canadians will find themselves, as built into this, with two things. One, cheaper EVs, because that's written into the deal, and also they'll have a much wider selection of EVs, but intended and implicit in this is that there will be joint ventures so that we will be gaining Chinese technology, which is world leading in EVs.
We're just about running out of time. How will the Prime Minister, will he have to change his language? Because in the past, he has called China a security threat. Now with this deal, does that mean things will change in terms of his language and attitude toward China?
On the one hand, we have to really continue to beef up our defenses, and we are. We've got a whole range of new measures in place, and Foreign Registry Act, et cetera. China is indeed a major disruptive power internationally, also of concern domestically. But remember that our major trading partner is still the U.S. The possibility exists that we will gain $3 billion out of this agreement. $3.6 billion crosses the Canada-U.S. border every day. So we will have to keep in mind that our long-range interests rest with correcting our relationship somehow or another with the U.S. And meanwhile, we do have to deal with an emerging economy the size of China, but it is a small portion of our overall economic future.
So many more questions to ask and to discuss, but we don't have any more time, but hopefully we can bring you back to discuss this further. International relations expert at Carleton University, Elliott Tepper, thank you so much for coming by. Thank you so much.